When they said not everyone deserves a podcast, we didn't listen. The middle class holes.
Well, the shoe's officially on the other foot, boys. I used to be the man fucking with the mailman. Now I'm the mailman getting fucked around by the fucking man. Fucking kids, dude. We live in a new era. I became my own worst enemy today. You guys, okay, I'll start with you. McGinny, have you seen the videos like on TikTok and Instagram? The kids riding the bike directly at people and then swerving out of the way at the very last tarp. So I had that fucking thing happening to me today with some kids on an e-bike.
Oh, no.
First time I was like, oh. Second time I was like, okay. Third time they circled around the truck and they did it from behind. And I slammed on the brakes and almost didn't stop, almost killed them. And then I turned the key off in the truck. I turned it off and I opened the door. I'm like, hey, man, what are you doing? And he just stared at me and then drove away. So then I start driving away. Turn it back on, crank her up, start driving away. Here he comes. Stops right in front of me. I'm like, dude, this is from 1988. The brakes are not going to stop me. I am going to kill you if you continue to do this. And then he flicked me off and drove away. And then, as I crept down the road to the next parking lot with the next set of mailboxes in it, he comes following me and does it again. And I'm like, all I can think of is back in our day, an adult would have beat the brakes off of me, demanded to know where I live, dragged me to the house, told my dad that he just beat the shit out of me and for what reason, only to have my dad beat the brakes off of me while the rest of the neighborhood watched. Yeah. I felt it a loss today.
Beat the brakes off, pun intended, of course.
And all I could think too is of Wes and his shenanigans growing up on a lonely street in Perryville.
Yeah, so I wonder what the statute of limitations is on this. So we would drive around. We would drive around after. Mind you, there we go. I got a soundtrack for this. I had purchased roughly $400 worth of fireworks and drove them across 11 state lines from South Dakota to Maryland. And then we would go out at night and shoot fireworks off. And then on our way back, we would push a urinal over, door down, that was on a construction site every night. And then around 4 a.m., we would fuck with the mailman who was coming by.
Well, this time, that was the paper man at that point.
It was the
mailman was later in the day while we were still awakened.
But the paper guy did, after about, I don't know, the 14th straight day of throwing papers back at his truck, did say, I got something with 6 in it that goes bang, that for you fuckers. I was like, ooh, man, he's going to kill me. We might just have to nix that one off our hijinks list. 4 a.m., all right, we cut it short.
Yeah, hang it up for the season.
But I'm wondering now in the year 2026, like, what is a guy like me? What can I do? Because the other problem I have is I'm going to be in that neighborhood every single day. So you gotta walk a line of like, how much of a dickhead do you come off as? Because I only know tomorrow. I'm waiting on it. I'm going to have a whole strategy planned out and ready to rock and roll. But all I said to him was like, dude, stop. Listen, I'm trying not to kill you. That's it. I was a kid. Go hurt yourself. Just don't make me be the guy that hurts you. All right? Yeah. And he goes, shut up, pussy. I'm going to slap that mustache off your lip.
Get the fuck out of here.
Wow. To which I broke out into hysterical laughter because it was one of the best lines he could have said, and I had nothing for him.
About what age?
Go ahead.
13, 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know the scene in Old School when they're all sitting around the living room after Dean Pritchard had basically told them, this is what you're going to have to do. It's been a fun ride, fellas, but goodbye. And Vince Vaughn's like, I got to tell you, this guy's playing hardball. He's really good. This is what I think of these kids, man. They're really good at it. And, there's no way. I admire your approach to explaining the deficiencies of your 80s built truck. Like, hey, man, this thing can't come to a screeching halt. I know that you think every car on the road is going to like, no, it's incapable of that. I can demonstrate.
ABS ain't breaking, son. That's what this fucker's got.
Yeah. See how they're treating the post office these days? They're not fixing those brakes.
On this truck, I have one windshield wiper that only works because I rigged it up with a rubber band about 3 months ago, and I'm waiting on it to snap, and it's been pouring its ass off the last couple of days.
Who first, Murr or the rubber band?
I might break much sooner than that rubber band.
So, two things. One, you got those yellow bottles in the truck. Just bring some balloons, you know?
Allegedly. All right. Save that warm coffee. All right.
Two is it was one kid.
It was started out as one, and then after I talked shit to him the first time, which I don't really think I was talking shit, I was just explaining the scenario to him.
Warn him.
Another one came along for the ride with him, so then there was two of them heckling me. I will say, to their credit, one of them came back later and was like, "Hey man, sorry about my buddy. Yeah, da 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 da." I was like, "All right, I appreciate that." I said, "Listen, I was a kid. I did dumb stuff too. Have fun. Just don't have fun with me." And I was like, I appreciate it though. And I just like gave him a little salute, and that seemed to be that. But I know that little weasel's gonna be out there tomorrow, and I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay, so my theory still holds true, because I'm getting worried because it's one kid, right? And then his like half in, half out buddy. He's a good kid. That's the good kid, right? The one that apologized to you.
Yeah.
The fact that there's not like 6 of them, and they're all not like, you know, half bad, right? Because we're half bad as little kids, but in a group, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
Just having fun. But like one kid by himself, somebody's got to watch him for a couple years.
I will say the good friend did call me the N-word at one point.
Jesus Christ! Okay.
He was allowed to use it by.
Okay. Yeah. You're invited to the cookout and on the route.
No, it was hard R. He called me hard R.
Oh shit!
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was at a loss, man. Like I think this is why. One, I remember being in their shoes. I was those kids at one point, and now here I'm the Clint Eastwood in the rocking chair on the porch, screaming to get off my lawn when I'm like, I was on the lawn. I remember. This is one of those midlife crisis moments where like the quarter has officially flopped to the other side, and I don't know how to handle it. I'm not good at this because I feel like such a hypocrite telling them to knock off their nonsense.
You don't have to feel like a hypocrite because it's, you know, we have these moments. I know, Wes and I don't have any kids that we know about. But I'm sure you get to have like positive moments like this with your son and impart a little knowledge onto him. But, you know, as far as like shenanigans and being a hooligan, like impressing stories on, either whether they be like younger coworkers or like younger friends in the friend group, there's always a moment or two. It's like, oh, I'm like, save a little time, take the scenic route, blah, blah, blah. I don't need to go so fast. I'm like, yeah, I'm up there now. I don't know, guys. Might get a little sun damage if we go out there and let's wait an hour.
I was telling Murr this today when he explained the story to me, at least the cliff notes, because he wanted to leave some of the key elements that he shared just with us, and thank you for that. That's a great story. It's not as impressive, but I was walking the dog, and I live next to an elementary school, and they had built in the past year. They built this. It's like a three-pillared canopy with a tarp over it, but it's kind of artsy, and I think it's just for shade for teachers to sit in when it's on these sunny days, especially now like school's going to be opening in a few weeks. Kids who like running around and get a little overheated, they can stand there. But these kids, and my best guess is tail end of elementary school, early middle, had pushed over a picnic table and were on top of it. And I'm walking the dog, and the first thing I was like, all right, the city paid a lot of money to put that up. And I don't know if you know Baltimore economics as well as I do, but that well ain't too deep. Second of all, and I was like, I don't know what that's rated for. Wait, here I am, my 40. I don't know what that's rated for. Is that rated for?
I know. Well, two things. You're worried about where tax dollars are being spent. You're wondering the tensile strength of a picnic table. Go ahead.
Beautify the community. It's for all of us.
I was going to say, look, guys, you can call, if they're still alive, the people who ran Perryville Elementary School. I got on top of that thing hundreds of times illegally and ran and jumped off a few times, and the cops showed up. I think one, it's disrespectful. Two, if that thing breaks, all 6 of you or all 3 of you are going to break both of your legs, and severely. It's not going to be some like, oh, well, Timmy needs a cast for 6 weeks. It's going to be like surgery and rods and
Timmy's in traction.
Yeah, that's right. You're gonna have to explain every time you go through TSA that you have a metal rod in your femur, I didn't say anything. I just continued on. I was like, all
Good,
right,
good,
not going to fight
good.
this fight.
Complacency is it's probably the proper path. I believe me, if the kid didn't do it 5 times in a row, I wouldn't have said a word to him. But this is one of those instances where I feel like the meta glasses might be a good purchase for me, just for legal sake. Because and by the way, speaking of those kids that do the quick swerve away from you while coming full speed at you, if I was not in my uniform in a work vehicle, 100%, that fucking e-bike was going under a wheel. 100%. If I didn't worry about my career, that's really all I was worried about, was just my career. But then
Sure.
I'm wondering too, like, the ramifications if you do retaliate, what I feel in a justified manner. Like, what's going to happen to you? Am I really going to have to face and plus, then it's going to be their word against mine, yada, yada. Well, you did hit him with a vehicle. Well, no shit. You're right. I did. At what point, and I don't want to call it vigilante justice, but at what point are you allowed to get away with something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're egging it on, and sometimes I feel like if people get what they're asking for, you should just let them have it. And that should be the end of it. No legal process. Were you guys doing that? Yeah. Did he hit you? Yeah. All right. Toodaloo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
right lawyer, right judge, right? Or right internal. I don't know if there's a internal affairs office with the postal service, but hopefully you got somebody on your side. Hopefully there's a rep.
Now, dude, anytime if something
like a
happens,
cop drama.
if this is the problem, if anything happens in that vehicle, then you're like basically got to do retraining, da-da-da-da-da. Doesn't matter if it was your fault or not. So, like, you're kind of, like, handcuffed to just, like, don't let anything happen under any circumstances. And it's like, sometimes something needs to happen.
Just teach these little punks and Elkton a lesson.
Postman only rings twice, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
We hear about how this is like a generational thing, right? I gotta, because we're, talking about these kids and we're talking about us. My dad told me, he would tell me stories like, you get a good story from your dad when you're 13, get a better story when you're 14, better story when you're 15 about like shenanigans back in the day. He said they used to, 2 versions of it at a 4-way stop. Somebody would hop out of the bushes with a hubcap and be like, we got your shit.
Yeah.
And then so the person would get out of the car and chase them. Or if there was like a tree, they'd have one of their buddies just fall out of the tree at the stop sign and be like, oh my God, you hit my boy.
Back to the Future style.
I was going to say Marty McFly. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The difference in your dad's story and what I think me and Wes's stories are is that, like, when the adult approached us, like, we ran. We got on our bikes and we pedaled away. We didn't.
They definitely ran. Oh, no. They definitely fucking ran.
Yeah, you didn't stop and then confront the adult that was coming at you. And that's
not in a million years.
Seems to be the difference here. And these guys have like a 250 horsepower fucking e-bike, just like there's no effort in this.
Yeah. Shenanigans like this were always a little hard because I was never the fastest one in the group.
Yeah, you got to pick your spots on that one. We used to do this thing where we would fake beat the crap out of one of our friends, and then when someone would stop, 4 of us would run, and then we'd always someone who was the most theatric would say like, "Oh God, I don't know why they did that," and then it got to a point where someone's like, "All right, I'm going to call the police. You stay put." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I got to go."
Walking it off. Let's rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, but after today, I feel for the paper man, Wes. I really do. I'm like, oh man, what? I feel his pain in my soul. And you have to remember, Horatio, he was doing this. I mean, I was there for a few of them, not a lot of them. I was, the age gap is bigger when you're younger, so I didn't join Wes for these shenanigans all that many times. But the Mayan death mask was just the icing on the cake. Wes had made some giant paper mache.
No, I did not.
I thought you meant
it was Remy Joland.
Remy, that was Remy's artwork. That's
beautiful. A child friend named Remy?
Yeah, so
no, we use aliases here on the podcast too. No, yes,
just a little Cajun kid in fucking Cecil County.
Old Remy, our good friend, rim job, such a good fellow. Artistically inclined, of course. No, he had made this. Somehow he got thrown into an art elective as a senior. Like, oh, well, you haven't taken an art class. And it's like, oh, my God, shit. I've been here for 3 years and I didn't do that. Fuck, I'll take, and I don't even know what it was, like sculpting 101 or something. And he made this absolutely ridiculous porcelain devil mask that I think the teacher took mercy on him and gave him a B-. And I still have it. I still own it.
Good.
But I used to put it, I mean, this thing makes it's kind of like when Jim Carrey gets angry in the mask and it turns red and inflates a little bit.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was representing.
It kind of has this face like,
yeah.
But it's got ears that are out to past your shoulders. It's ridiculous. If you dug this up in an archaeological site, you'd be like, whoa, I wonder what these guys were into. A lot of peyote here.
But what he's saying is, while screwing with the mailman, we would put that on, and I would scream at the top of my lungs while sprinting around the corner at him to draw his attention while someone else threw papers at his car. Yeah, giggling the entire time. And you know when the irony of that mask is, as bad as it was, my dad, he was a professional artist of sorts, loved it, thought it was great. He's like, look at this thing. I was like, that thing sucks. He's like, no, it sucks so good. It sucks so good, Wes.
Your dad's same vision of that thing. It's almost like it's so abstract. It's beautiful in its own weird, odd. Like I said,
It's gonna send me a picture of this.
If you were in an archaeological site in like Central America, South America, you would think that was a actual piece of art that they sculpted. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you'd have to get past the whole paper mache thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
3,000 years from now, when they're doing a archaeological dig at the rendezvous.
Yeah.
Rumor has it because Murr has this great theory that archaeologists make up things after they find it. Like, rumor has it that a bar and grill here used to do satanic rituals with this mask right here. Perryville, right? Yep. Yeah.
Don't get me started on it, because I just heard an interesting fact about like dinosaur like skeletons. Like the most intact dinosaur they have found skeletal remains is like 60%. That's one. That's one. Most of them are like 30% or less, and they just make up the rest of it. And it's like, this looks good. It's
crazy when we find out they're like, oh, giant birds.
They weren't. I guarantee they were giant birds. That fucking, what's that stork or whatever, that pelican that has like that.
Oh, the shoe bill or the shoehorn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's 100% a T-Rex shrunk down like 80%. That's exactly what that is. You can't convince me otherwise after looking at it. It might as well be in Jurassic Park as an animal. It's perfect.
It's one more eon away, right?
That's what should have killed Newman. I mean, the spit venom was cool, but come on, a 6-foot shoe bill, like boom, just plucking it to death.
No. By the way, before we move on, last thing on dinosaurs. Did you know George Washington had no idea that dinosaurs existed? That's how late in our fucking timeline we found our first dinosaur bones. George Washington was dead and gone before the first dinosaur archaeological dig occurred.
There's still dragons back then.
That's right. That's how we beat the British.
That and smallpox. Dragon smallpox.
Yeah.
Middle class holes, everyone. Murr, Foxman, and old Raleigh joining us today. First crack. I had summer's almost over. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Already thinking about Labor Day. Already thinking about my wife's ACL reconstructive surgery, where I'm going to be penned up for. Yeah. Raleigh, I don't know if you've heard this. Old Sarah blew out her ACL. So
I was on the last episode.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard an update yet. When we had to do the creative edit.
Yeah, just get the old Kurt Schilling. Just get the old Kurt Schilling in the knee area.
Yeah.
Get a Tommy John's while you're in there. See if they'll do a 2-for-1.
With my own, yeah. It's like, hey, look, while you're digging around in my wife's knee, I think my dick could be bigger. Do you do those? No? Okay, no worries.
What's that cadaver packing down there? Let's see if we can get a little more out of it.
How many ligaments we talking?
Is that soft or hard tissue? Old ortho joke I know from back in the day.
Hello.
So we have a list from BuzzFeed. It's 25, not going to read all 25, but 20 things that have become socially acceptable in the last 10 years that proves 2016 was officially the year we entered the darkest timeline. I don't know how much I agree with that. Some of these I agree with. Some of
Wait,
these
what's the timeline?
things that have become socially acceptable or so much more socially acceptable in the last 10 years that proves 2016 was the start of the dark time.
The dark times. I think they said the Tarkus timeline. I'm like, who the fuck is Tarkus and what's his timeline look like? Shit.
I said TARDIS, and we were doing a Doctor Who bit.
Yeah.
That's right. And his right-hand man, Remy, was there all along.
A guarantee.
Location sharing has become so normalized, it kills me.
Don't know. I mean, as an older gentleman, I don't think I share my location on anytime an app says, we'd like to track your location, I'll either do only while using the app or no, fuck you. That's got to be a generational thing, I guess, right?
I think he is referencing amongst friends.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
There's so many. So I recently learned that a large contingent of the girl gang that's part of the overall gang, they all just share locations with each other. And I get it. I get it for a, lady safety point of view like that. But I just think it's weird if we're in random conversation and somebody's like, oh, I wonder where so-and-so is. And they're just like, oh, I can look. Like,
yeah, no. Why? I don't.
Mare and I would have each other's location, right? But that's it. Like, and the only other time I would use it, it's like, oh, here's a pin, here's where the campsite is, right?
Yeah, I guess. That's an instantaneous argument starter, no matter what. Because, listen, we should all have the opportunity to tell a little white lie to anybody we please. I don't do it a lot, but it's like, let's just say I want to let somebody down easy. Man, shit, I'm sorry, dude. I'm actually still at work. When I'm easily at home cooking a steak on the oven and just I don't want to make an excuse like I'm feeling anxious tonight and I don't really want to be out with people and then they look at, oh, he's at home, that fucking asshole. You know what? I'm giving peace of my mind next time I see it. No, just don't fucking share your locations. Why? It's stupid. Don't do that.
We got a Chick-fil-A that shares a parking lot with Shotgun Willie's, which is the number one gentleman club in town. I could be at either, but you get a delicious chicken sandwich.
Shotgun Willie's has a great chicken sandwich, if you ask me.
Yeah.
They actually have a great appetizer sampler.
So I don't know about this one. Maybe you guys can chime in on this. Constantly canceling plans with your friends at the last minute. It used to be inconsiderate. Now they call it protecting your peace. One, calling it that's ridiculous. Two,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't cancel plans a lot, and I don't have a lot of friends that cancel plans with me. I don't know, and it's weird that it's becoming commonplace.
I think I'm by these first two examples. Sorry to just rush in there. By these first two examples, this might be more of a Gen Z type of list because I very much get what you're saying. Because our generation is still held accountable for there was a time where it's like if you said you were going to be somewhere, you had to be there, right?
Right.
And I feel like even though we all have phones, we can still carry a little bit of that to this day. Like if I said we're going to do this, we're going to do this. But and as the one of us who is more kind of in touch with, the new age hippie burner kind of people or people who are on their healing journey, a lot of that is just people being fucking selfish. It's like, no. Like you just said, protecting your peace. That's bullshit. You made plans, either stick to them or 2 days beforehand. But, a half hour before you're supposed to meet somebody somewhere, rude, inconsiderate, bullshit. You're not protecting your peace. You're not this whole I'm on my healing journey doesn't mean you get to be an asshole to everybody else. You're still part of a community.
I gotta say, for me, if I didn't hold that in such a high regard, sticking to the plan that you agreed upon, I would do nothing. Because there's been plenty of times where I've prayed these guys would cancel at the last minute. Hey man, sorry, something came up. I'm not gonna be able to go out. It's like, oh damn, sorry. I was really looking forward to it. No, I wasn't. I really wasn't. I'll enjoy myself once I get there. But I've got so much fucking social anxiety that if I don't hold myself to, you agreed to this, you must go, you didn't cancel 3, 4, 5 days in advance, now you are holding yourself to, I would do nothing but fucking eat Doritos on my couch and drink White Claws and watch old wrestling videos.
Brother, I am right there with you.
Doritos
And, I'm a pretty social person, but like as I've gotten older, the battery runs thinner, and then part of a power couple, the calendar's always full, and either Mayor's looking at me or I'm looking at her, and it's like, when did we say we were going to do this? 2 months ago. Like, fuck. I don't want to do this.
That I'm going to piggyback off of that, because with my boys, if I cancel plans, I'll catch some shit. It's not dirt swept under the rug, but they're going to be a little bit pissed, but they'll get over it. If spouses are involved, a wife of my friend's going to be like, yo, you're kind of on my blackball list now. And rightfully so.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's another thing I don't want to deal with. It's like, oh, you're mad at me because we didn't come to murder mystery night. Like, okay. But it's like, got to hear it. Got to hear it from the person I wake up next to.
But I do have to say that to me, I've dubbed this the "what's the big deal" generation. Like sometimes it's kind of like the kids in the fucking parking lot with the e-bike. Like, what's the big deal? I find that anybody under, I'm going to say like 30, if you tell them they're not supposed to do something, they'll, why? What's the big deal? You have to give them what's the big deal. Nothing seems to faze them, which is kind of admirable. It's like, you're right, the world's not going to catch on fire. Civilization's not going to collapse. You are correct. However, there is this kind of like unspoken rule about things. Yes, the social contract. It's an unwritten thing, but you're not supposed to tear it up every time it inconveniences you.
Correct. Like,
So, like,
I don't like to wait in line, but got to. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm also foaming at the mouth of the idea that Murr goes back to your UPS hub, your HQ. I don't know what you call it. The place where you drive into to pick up the truck. And you're telling this to a 25-year-old. You said under 30 is now the magic mark, and you explain this to him. Like, yeah, what's the big deal? Like, the big deal is I almost ran a kid over. Yeah, so what, man? One less punk. Never, fuck him.
Fuck him, that's why.
That's for everybody 40 plus. Oh, you killed a kid? What's the big deal?
Yeah, natural selection.
Yeah.
There's a few dumbasses, a few less dumbasses. This one does agitate me, and this isn't necessarily Gen Z specific or 30 or younger specific. This is creeping its way into commonplace or normal for folks our age and older. It's now completely normal for someone to be on their phone while having a conversation with someone. A lot of people do this and have no sense of how fucking rude it is.
What, they're on the phone with you, and then
no, I think it's like it's like thumbing through their phone while talking,
rolling and chatting.
Yeah.
No. I've definitely been guilty of this, and I've been given the I can multitask excuse, and then when it happens to me, I'm like, am I not worthy of at least 80% of your attention? So medicine.
By the way, Wes, I know when you're doing it because you're all your answers like yeah, cool, yeah.
Cool.
And then, but to your credit, if somebody calls you out on it, you're like, yeah, my bad. I'll stop. Yeah. You jump in,
right?
Because you're right in between that era of like people who do that and people who don't. I'm just not capable, and I know I'm not capable, so I just don't do it because I've caught myself before. Like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. Can you repeat everything you said from the time you started talking? Because I don't know anything that just happened besides what was on the phone. Sorry. Yeah, we gotta stop doing that shit, people.
Yeah, you gotta do something a little more passive, like a Sudoku or a little. If I know I'm in for a long one with my mom, load up a little Call of Duty Mobile.
Sorry, I'm in a burner right now. Actually, Sarah had brought this up because, so my mom is pretty blunt. Conversations don't last much more than like 10 to 20 minutes on the phone. If it's 20 minutes, we've gotten into like a marathon talk. And she plays a lot of games on her tablet. And I can tell where I'll explain something to her, and it's a 5-second pause, and she almost mentally is like, "Oh, this is my cue. I'm supposed to say something. Okay." That's great, Wes. I'm like, okay, all right. You didn't hear a fucking thing I said.
This is why old Di and I are boys.
Because we used to, like when we were kids, I would do this, and my mom, I could hear her going like, yeah, and then Dewey would be around, and I'd be like, all right. So then I kicked Chris in the testicles really fucking hard. I mean, I bashed his nuts in. You're like, oh, okay, all right.
That's good.
Chris is okay though, just so you know.
That's great.
Remy came over and helped him out.
What does Mom say?
Mom, what do you think about that? Huh? So, okay.
Here's $20. Go see Star Wars.
Star War.
A Star War. Go see Star Wars Trek. There are so many people today using AI as their stand-in therapist, Andrew, which is wild. But I wonder if it's just a symptom or inaccessible mental health resources.
I don't use it as a therapist. I use it to talk about conspiracy theory.
I said that tongue in cheek, by the way.
I know, but I mean, I have asked Grok a lot of medical questions. But no, me and Grok get into a lot of conspiracy theory, and the best thing about like the AI is like it wants to be on your side, it wants to agree with you, and so like you start going down. And this is the danger of it. It takes you down this path of I don't even know. I can't remember the word that I should be using here, but like it drags you along, and it confirmation bias almost. It takes you along this confirmation bias path of what you want to like find, and will kind of be like, well, not exactly that, and you're like, oh, then it's like this. And it's like, yeah, that's more like it, and then you just get fucking deep in the rabbit hole, man. And then the world is flat, and nothing really exists.
I can't find a reasonable number, but like this is how we are at this place where we've got documented cases of AI psychosis, right? Because it's essentially a yes man. It's a vacuum. It's a echo chamber. You know, they're pumping you up. They're like, oh yeah, I can see where you're coming from, and you know, they're like, oh, they want to be buddy with you. Like, there's been those. I don't know if you've seen those little. I'm not gonna say articles, but like little news reports or Instagram videos or whatever about like, people having to be checked into the psych ward because the AI, like they thought like they'd broken through to another level because the AI is like confirmed, that there's the second coming of whatever savior.
Yeah, if you're crazy, it'll definitely make you crazier. And there is one example of, I can't remember which, I don't want to say it was, I don't want to slander any of the AI tech companies because we don't have enough money to fight back if it ever happens.
1000 might come get you.
But one of them convinced somebody that they should kill themselves. They explained why their life was so bad, and it was just like, yeah, this seems like the only recourse you really have.
Like, oh, buddy, I'd pull the plug too.
Yeah.
Leaving my own mainframe.
Meanwhile, I'm just trying to confirm that, aliens might have started a civilization 8,000 BC, and but I don't want to fucking put an alien dagger through my fucking heart and in my energy existence.
And if you need me to speak at your memorial service, I'm happy to do so. Just let me know.
So what happens when you pay that premium $7.99 for Grok every month?
This one has gotten. I don't say I fully prescribe to it, but I also know that there's instances where I look at someone, I'm like, ugh. I've always seen myself as a fairly casual dresser, generally getting away with a tie at corporate environments for years, but I still show up at weddings in a suit or throw in a polo shirt for casual events, casual social events. I feel like somewhere along the line, society decided to reverse leapfrog me to a point where I often feel like I'm overly formal.
No such thing as overly dressed. No such thing. That's a very old phrase, but or saying or whatever, but it's like, I subscribe to that. I'm not saying you got to be in a full suit in the airport, but and you two know me. I'm, this is usually the uniform, but I don't want to see your Cookie Monster pajama pants when we're boarding the plane. You're an adult, put a pair of pants on. I don't know why it sticks for me for air travel, but that's where I see it the most. People being way too fucking casual. And it also... Go ahead.
Well, I agree with you in most instances, but with air travel, I think because of the way the airlines have twisted it, and they're going to squeeze you for every dollar they can get and take every creature comfort they can from you. I want their airplane to look like the entryway
Joe's
to a homeless facility. Yeah, wear your I don't know, your 2012 Uggs. A baggy pair of sweatpants with a hole in the crotch so you can scratch away on the plane. Fuck that. The airlines have been fucking us for years. I don't want them to look like they have any class at all. So that's the one place I'll disagree with you. But I kind of want to agree with the what's the big deal generation on this one is like, why do I have to pretend to look like I'm from a class of society that I don't belong to? So I kind of side with them a little bit. Appropriate skin coverage is all I ask for. That's it.
I like that. As a style icon, I'll say dressing up is not tied to your socioeconomic status, right? Like, there's ways to dress up in, like, not a tuxedo, right? But I guess, again, as a style icon, I like to, show up and show out. But it's not just about, like, the tie, right? It's like, we had a good friend, right? We had a good friend who made it to the league, and he said, you look good, you feel good, you play good, you play good.
You get paid good.
Boom.
Yeah, I did. Like,
so that's where it is for me with dressing. I think it makes you feel good. I think, able to bop around a little more. Call me ranch because I be dressing.
I just always feel uncomfortable when I'm not wearing my Ernest P. Worrell uniform of a black T-shirt and just some kind of jean and a sneaker. And give me a ball cap that fits right. And if I feel like me, then I'm me. But if I feel like I'm dressing up like somebody I'm not, then you're not going to get the full, you're not going to get all of what I have to offer you if I'm not feeling comfortable. That's it.
I fully understand where you're coming from. And I'm saying, it's not the clothes that make the man, it's the man that makes the clothes.
Yeah, no.
I will. The one thing I wanted to say, like, there's kind of this universal law of don't break the jerk rule. You guys have heard that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I think the same applies to, like a cocktail party the day before a wedding. Don't be the least dressed person there. And I think I've showed up at a couple of these cocktail parties where someone was like, I'm going for that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be that. And it's kind of appalling, to be honest with you.
But
in my opinion.
I'll say in reverse, though, like sometimes when somebody shows up in, like, I don't know, with an ascot on and a fucking vest, and it's like, did you make a decision to be the quote best dressed person here? I don't know. Don't be the attention whore to the right of the room, and I would say also don't try to be the attention whore to the left side of the room.
So I showed up at a wedding in Ocean City with an ascot once and once only, and man, it was great. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. As a man who owns multiple ascots, again, it's the man that makes the clothes.
I know. But with you, that's the personality, though. Like, again, you got to remember, like, one of the first times I met you, you stopped in a traditional African garb store to buy an orange and black fucking flowing, I don't know what the African version of a Mexican poncho is.
That's dashiki.
Yes. He buys
Orioles. It was in Orioles color, and I was like, I got to have it. It's opening day on.
Yeah. So.
And I pulled it off.
Well, yes, because you had no choice.
So this one, O'Reilly, you're going to chime in first because we spoke about this very thing ad nauseum here on the Middle Class Holes. The whole world, actually, the tens and tens of listeners that listen to the Middle Class Holes know how I feel about it. Murr, you've chimed in. Gender reveal parties, while unconscious on their own, the drama and damage they cause in the worst case make you wonder why they're so popular.
I feel like we're all on the same page here. Enough is enough. I don't listen, as a man who's, and I've never met a camera I didn't like, right? But like, never been to a party. Never had a reason to not celebrate stuff. I like to have a good time, but like, I don't know when everything had turned into like a micro celebration of this and this and this, right? And you're putting a lot on your friends and you're putting a lot on your family, right? We used to have one baby shower, and even I think back in the day, you only had the firstborn was the only one who got a baby shower. And now there's a baby moon and now a gender reveal. I mean, and everybody's got to top themselves because everybody wants a viral moment. There's that couple who did, I don't know if it was Tannerite or whatever, but they, made something explode and caused a giant wildfire in Texas.
Good. This is like, have you guys ever heard of Disco Demolition Night?
I'm listening.
Oh, is that when they destroyed all the disco records at like
Yeah.
Comiskey Park. Yeah, so
Okay.
the owner of the White Sox, who had been given the team from his dad, and his son was like an aristocrat who never had a real job, who was like a radio disc jockey, and all he was about was promotions. He wanted his team to do well, but they sucked, so he was like, all right, I got to put butts in seats. We're going to figure this out. If you show up to the Comiskey Park with a disco record that we can blow up that you're going to donate, it's a 25-cent ticket, and beers are 25 cents. They didn't realize the mayhem that would ensue. In the middle of the doubleheader, they blew up like 30,000 fucking records, and not like a single M80. It was like a goddamn. You needed earplugs for a half mile, and then
Like
the fans rushed the field in center field.
Yeah.
I'm sure the grounds crew head was like, "Oh yeah, that's great.
Pissed.
Blow that up."
Kentucky Blue ain't cheap.
They need to do that with gender reveal parties. We need to have a gender reveal demolition night, and pink and blue scatter. And if you want to be dumb enough to show up to that, you might get cancer from the reverb.
I got to admit, Wes, I know we've railed on gender reveal parties a lot over the years, but it seems like they go wrong more than they go right.
Yes, if you're doing a fucking stupid stunt.
Yes, right. And so part of me has been like, these people are getting exactly what they deserve. Disappointment. So I'm really starting to become torn on whether I'm for or against gender reveal parties. Because a person who says, let's have a gender reveal party, I want their lives to be shattered in front of them, and all the videos we see
are their lives.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm with you there.
Yeah, they give me some good things to like mock humanity for.
I'll tell you, my friends had one, and it was actually fun. There was drinks, there was games you could bet on. I think that's why it was so fun, because there was like, no dumb stunt, and several games that we could fucking wager on.
Yeah.
So you put some gambling and booze in, I'll accept it, but like, don't get grandma involved in the fucking pink or blue smoke, because she's gonna fuck it up.
Right. You get a couple felt tables with some blackjack. Yeah. All right, maybe I'll I'll do a protest.
Just do roulette with pink and blue.
Yeah.
I have another one just pull off one of these casino gender reveal nights.
Well, you gotta get a loaded table then, and then talk to the guy.
Yeah, that's right. If it hits the 00, it blows up. Prematurely, of course. Mm-hmm. All right. So this one, this one is directed at children, but I also think that this could be. We could go much more broader in someone who just documents everything in their life. People need to stop publicly documenting every single moment in their child's life on the internet. Sure, a nice family photo with them on an occasion of a proud parent moment. I'm not a monster, but I don't need to know a random friend's kid who took a shit on the toilet for the first time with the photo of the kid sitting on the toilet while taking a shit. It goes on and on and on. But yeah, man, it's like little Timmy got a hit.
Yeah. I mean, we don't do that, I think, because we're of an older generation, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope, because when I do scroll through my phone and I see 300 pictures of my kid, like, growing up, like, year by year, there's something about it. But
that's for you.
Yes, that's for me. We don't put them all on Facebook. Like, we'll put a vacation on Facebook.
Sure.
And that's about the only place that we do put them. But, like, Norm's got a great joke about this. He's like, my grandfather, he had one picture, and then it's like, and then he kind of goes on, and he's like, hey, you want to see 10,000 pictures of my grandfather?
That's why he's the king.
Yeah.
I know, and again, I don't have kids, so not really like anything that's top of mind or middle of mind or anything. But I did like a cabin with my friend and her husband, kids, and sister, and I had like just thrown up a couple photos and be like, hey, great weekend, got to see Rachel again, and she hit me up and she was like, hey, she's like, do me a favor, like that one's fine, but like we're trying to do this thing where we are not putting our kids online until they're old enough to be like, sure, put a photo of it.
yay or nay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that was a thing that like parents had to not like wrestle with, but like just something they have to like factor in, right? Like, because we've already seen like the dark side of it.
Yeah.
You know, people putting their kids and forcing their kids to be like internet, I don't want to say stars, but that's too much, but like, you know, everybody wants to make a buck and be famous. And it's just, you know, it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like we were very lucky, even in college, when it was like, we missed that cusp. Like, our camera was one thing, our Nikon Cool Pics, and then our Nokia, you know, and nary the two shall meet.
Yeah.
But did we put too many photos up then? Yes. You know, did we need to put every fucking week at Dimes up? We didn't.
Those would have been good. Those would have been great fucking albums. Here's one I don't agree with, and maybe this is just the person who submitted this. I can't believe that people cheat as much as they do academically. It's been like 10 years since I've taken a test and done assignments, and it's just wild how often people pay for the exact questions on the test that they're going to take to find any way around learning the content. I just think people have been cheating since tests have been administered.
Yeah, they have, but I do feel like in this new era, what's the big deal? Like, there's a way around everything. Yeah. And part of me doesn't, as somebody who cheated a lot in high school, but man, there was an art to it. Like, you had to earn it. I almost feel like the way I cheated was like an education. It was a class that we weren't supposed to be taking. It was like an underground class that once you figured it out, it's like, it was actually the smarter way to do things. Because I guarantee you start asking people who got A's on the test back then, they don't know the answers now. But the craftiness that I had to do, the pens that I made with little cheat sheets inside of them, the little clear Bic pens, and just, godly, man. Here's what I did. I would take little slips of paper, and I would write micro small with a very fine felt tip pen, and then I would roll it up, and I would slide it all the way down to where, like, when you hold the pen
into the clear pen.
Yeah, and it's right there, and so all I would do is swivel and look. Yeah, 100%. All my German vocabulary words, the entire map of Eastern Europe. I mean,
who says the old dog can't learn new tricks?
Right. And because in my mind, I was like, I'm never going to need to remember this after this class is over.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this to get through this, and then we're done with it. But the things that I don't understand, people who pay to go to college, you know, to quote, learn something for their career, to then just cheat their way through it and know nothing when they get done. That's just a waste of fucking thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, well,
Listen, sometimes there's one you need. You gotta.
Yeah.
As a you know, alleged, I've seen and heard of a lot of methods. The pen one, bravo. I've heard tell that there used to be kids that would, because they couldn't get micro, or people couldn't get micro, and do it on the inside of the old shirt cuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's as far as I went. This is like the Italian job.
Thank you.
Yeah, we had one where we were basically stealing the exams for a Spanish class. And I can't remember. She would do fake exams like a week leading up, and we somehow figured out like where she kept the real ones. And we do a photocopy and then send it back, and somehow because I don't forgive me. This is like 27 years ago. We would erase the. She would put a mark on it with like a pencil, like hey, this is the real one. We would erase it.
She marked the bills.
We would erase it, make a photocopy, and then just write it back in. And then one of the people who we had in on this heist just put a photocopied version of it back in to her folder.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. There's always one. There's always like the guy in Belly who just like, you know, there's always one dumb guy in the crew who's going to ruin the heist.
Stacks from Goodfellas. You know, he got stoned and left the fucking truck.
Yeah.
By the way, my favorite story about me cheating and a teacher not caring was Ulf Grabowski in German. He goes, like, because I was going to fail that class and I had to, like, pull that grade, like, up to, like, at least a B or I was done. And he goes, Andy, I don't know if you're cheating or if you're studying, but either way, great job. That's like
That's German for you.
Yeah. I can't. Basically, like, I haven't caught you, so kudos to you, sir.
Nihilist. He cares about nothing.
Rumor has it Murr gave a thumbs up and said thank you in German. It wasn't thank you. He said thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. By the way, I didn't really get too off on a tangent. We had our German teacher was a 6'5", 250-pound German guy named Ulf Grabowski with one arm.
Yep.
How white Eastern Maryland is. You both had German classes with like real, maybe Operation Paperclip Germans.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm thinking he came to America for a specific reason, and it was because he wasn't allowed to be in Germany anymore. I don't know exactly. I don't know the circumstances behind Ulf, but I think he only became a German teacher because he literally spoke German. I think that's the only prerequisite that he had.
Yeah,
Good old days.
When I was there, because I didn't take German, but talking to a few other classmates, and someone was saying something about like being able to beat him up, and one of the guys was like, "Yo, that motherfucker only has one arm." I was like, that man will fuck you up, bro.
Yeah. You don't know how he lost the arm.
First of all, that nub is going to bust you open, and that fucking clown paw is going to obliterate your face. Yeah.
From what I understand, he was in the German military and lost it in the field. We'll just say that. But yeah, we fucked with Ulf all the time. And by the way, this is probably why I'm still so into politics. Is for whatever to get free TVs in all the classrooms, did you have Channel 1 while you were there, Wes?
I sure did, yeah.
Okay. The trade-off was this sort of liberal-leaning news organization starring Anderson Cooper, Lisa Ling, and Miss Altschul, who ended up on MTV at one point. They would pay to have TVs in every classroom, but you had to play their 20-minute news show during homeroom every morning, and they would always get into politics in some capacity, and Ulf was in the politics, and I could throw him off an entire German class by arguing a point against the TV at some juncture.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we went 40 minutes on OJ one morning. It was so great.
Hats off, because as an instigator, I appreciate that, and nothing was better than when somebody could like pull a teacher off of whatever they were trying to do, and get them to follow that other rabbit hole.
As someone who taught for 2 years at a high school level, I sometimes caught wind of it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I know what you're doing. And I'm going to do it anyway."
Let's go.
Yeah.
He couldn't help himself. He just couldn't help himself.
You guys want to get real? Let's get fucking real.
Just Mr. Fox sitting on the desk.
Yeah. You want to tell me the Orioles suck? All right. This one's going to be quick. Then we're going to bleed into the next one because I don't agree with it. I do not appreciate how casual and acceptable swearing has become. From TV shows to political press conferences, it's everywhere now. It seems like there's very little in the way of decorum or standards anymore. So basically, it's like, hey, it's on television. You know what? So what? Fuck you. Guess my ass.
I feel like if you don't use those words now, you're kind of lying because like you're not using your normal way of communicating. And this decorum thing, what does that even mean? Decorum means fake,
buddy.
Some kind of you're being fake. That's what decorum really kind of means. Yeah, why?
Decorum means like there's like Robert's Rules of Orders. There's like a standard. We do this, and like we may not agree, but like we'll pretend to respect each other as we're talking about it. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like,
but I agree like on personal attacks and things like that, but like the verbiage you use, I feel like should be as normal as possible in order to convey your point. And if you want to say you're full of shit, then just say you're full of shit. Like, well, sir, I believe that your lies will like, no, you're full of shit. Cut the horse shit.
Cut the red.
Kevin Hart in 40-Year-Old Virgin, where he's like, I don't know what that word means, so I'm going to assume you're disrespecting me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think like some of this boils down to I really personally think that late night television. What was it? Horatio, we took mass communications at Frostburg State University. We understood primetime hours and when you could and couldn't use the seven dirty words. But it's Always Sunny. Like at a point where you could say dick and pussy and fuck you. And I don't know if that's what this person's talking about, but if it is, fuck you. I don't care. I'm entertained. Like,
Yeah.
I think they're talking about maybe just, and this might be a little projection, but like just, there's things are kind of getting, and that's been like forever, right? It's like everybody's complaining about Howard Stern. People like lowest common denominator, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it's like there used to be an art to it. There used to be an art to throwing in a curse word here or there, throwing in a fuck or a cunt or a whatever. You just throw it in, you pepper it in. You just don't, because there's peppering it in, and then there's like
saturation,
low level. I can't think of another adjective, so I'm going to throw fucking shit and in there.
And you're right. There is a fine line. But sometimes like a good fuck you just sums up a point better than all the flowery language that you can ever pen. Anything that can make Shakespeare blush can readily be summed up by a good fuck yourself.
Correct. But again, there's an art to the delivery. You know?
You're right. You are right. So maybe there needs to be some decorum every now and again, but I don't think we should lose our minds when somebody drops an F-bomb here and there.
Just know that you're smarter than them and you're better than them.
There's always you could always quote Tennessee Williams and say fuck you. Fuck you, Tennessee Williams.
We're going to use that as our senior quote.
That's right. Oh, God. We need three asterisks. Okay, all the betting and gambling that has taken over. 10 years ago, I never would have imagined something like, what's it, Kalashi? I don't know what that is. Becoming mainstream gambling. Gambling was straight up illegal where I grew up. Sorry. Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Bummer, man.
Sucks.
But yeah. Don't act because like it was illegal that it wasn't happening.
Sure, but we used to have this thin veil, right? Like, I don't want to go, like we have here, don't get me wrong, there's great, great buffet, great spread in there. But like, we've got a Fanatics sports book lounge in the stadium. Like, at least we had the thin veil of like, they're separated. But now it's just, we see the machine. Everything on ESPN is over-unders, odds, and all that. Even, my buddies have Foxman knows him, our buddy Steve from Round the Way in Wheaton. Him and Tim do a awesome NFC East podcast. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot more, has been in the several years. It's like, there's more betting stuff on. There's more betting stuff on all sports media, whether it's radio, whether it's, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm rambling now, but like, I don't know if it was better when we had the thin veil, like it wasn't happening, but I just feel like people are getting milked. And like everybody thinks they're one parlay away from the big jackpot.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I was like buyer beware, but I mean, you're right. There were, for a long time it was Vegas and Atlantic City, and anything outside of that was illegal. And then all these pop-up casinos started happening. You had stuff in like Biloxi and Montgomery and a few other like areas, and then like Jacksonville opened up a casino. And then when I was like in my fucking teens, early 20s, we started seeing some in Iowa. And I'm not talking about like Indian reservations. I'm talking about like legitimate casinos. And then now, like, I can name 6 casinos between legitimately here in New York City. And it's, to me, it's a feeding frenzy that I don't really give a fuck about. I'm a part of it. Like, if you're that dumb to want to dump your money away, cool. I don't
and Wes Fox is the reason I have DraftKings on my phone, because he wanted $200 in free bets one time, and to his credit, he won me like 6 out of the 8 bets right out the gate, and I've been on there ever since. I finally slowed down. I don't bet on everything every day like I used to. But I think it makes sports more interesting. It made me pay attention to like a league like the NBA, which I hadn't paid attention to since Jordan retired, and sure. I'm actually upset that it made me pay attention because it made me realize that my hatred for basketball is not unfounded. Professional basketball.
Okay.
Why?
Yep.
Professional basketball.
Yep.
It's made me
because Murr texts me at like 11 a.m. and wonders why Brunson's being sat in the fourth quarter because he needs another assist.
Yeah.
Why is he spitting him?
That's on you, brother.
No, but because when you haven't watched something in like a decade and a half, and then you come back to it like, oh, it's got to be better because the coverage seems to be better, the way they talk about it seems to be better, the sport must be better now, and then I tune in and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this foul? That's a double dribble. That's traveling. That's this. That's that. And it's like, no, I mean, you realize how much everybody likes to be nostalgic about their youth and what they witnessed when they were younger. But no, when you can legitimately say, when I was
1990s were the best time for the fucking NBA, fuck yes. We were very lucky to like see what we saw growing up in the fucking NBA. Like I used to be a big middle school, high school, like NBA was my shit.
And I will listen.
And I will fan for a while.
I agree with. Oh shit! We're talking about 90s Pistons. When?
Yeah.
What? Like the tail end of the like
no,
the
both Wallaces or late 90s, both Wallaces. Rashid, and when Rashid would come out with the fucking WCW big gold belt.
That's
Tayshaun
04.
Prince.
That was 04.
That was 04?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We were in college.
Yeah. But that derailed my thought. I do agree with you with the 90s being the best, which I think the Knicks revitalized a lot of us 90s basketball lovers. Like oh shit, like the New York Knicks. Yeah.
Dude, rallying around the Knicks this year was awesome.
But I gotta be honest with you, I only rallied around the Knicks this year. I don't want to bring it back to professional wrestling, but because of the whole Danhausen thing, I was like,
"Oh no,
I gotta see if this curse fucking works," because he riled up fucking Stephen A. Smith, who has grown on me over the last few years. Like I used to loathe Stephen A. Smith.
He's worse than he's ever been.
I mean, yes and no, but he's such a rabble-rouser that, like, I guess I've been paying more attention to him, and I see what he's doing, and part of me's like...
Cameron on ESPN, though.
He goes, what?
Yeah.
He's getting Cameron more airtime on ESPN.
I don't know who Cameron is.
He's also like, Cameron's a rapper. Yeah. Hey, Ma, what's up? Let's slide. All right. We're going to get it on tonight.
Dipset?
Yeah. Dipset, but I will see. He's also hosting. He's also like a political moderator. Have you seen this?
Yeah, and I don't mind him. He's a Democrat with like some sense making going on. And I kind of he's on General Hospital.
Stephen A. has like a reoccurring role on one of the soap operas, and I think it's General Hospital. I only know that because I watched Last Week Tonight the other week.
You could have said he was like a grimace stuntman, and I'd have been about as impressed as what you just said. That's so good.
That's a legendary job. I want to be a grimace stuntman.
All right. And listen, so I scrolled through the last few, none of which were really worth mentioning, so I'll just get to the last one. And finally, in 2016, people at least made a token effort to fact-check a claim before starting a comment war over it. Now actual critical thinking has been entirely outsourced to algorithms designed to feed us whatever outrages us the fastest. So, I mean, I don't know. Do we need to say much more about that? I mean, it just pisses me off that people can make a claim and you say, hey, what's the source? And then they say, well, it's not my job to... You need to look for the source.
The do your own research crowd.
Yeah.
Like, I'd tell you about it, but...
But I can't.
Like, everybody wants to be a fucking insider.
I know, but Wes, I gotta say, you fall for it more than anybody here when it comes to, like, the 9/11 conspiracy theory stuff. Like you're bashing your head against the wall every time with these people.
Who, me?
No,
Wes, loose change.
Yeah, more like loose thoughts from some fucking teenagers who had limp dicks.
It's so funny, Riley. I'll go on like our TikTok page to see what's going on, and like at least like once every 6 months, I'll see this like, the fuck is this commenter talking about? And it's Wes having gone into a 9/11 conspiracy video and like combating with somebody. And then it's like retort, and then it dies down. And then like 3 months later, it's like retort. Like, what the fuck is going on?
We had a published author on the show.
Wait, really?
Yeah, a published 9/11 conspiracy theorist on the Middle Class
Did
Holes.
you guys talk about Building 7 or no?
He talked about a lot of things, Raleigh. But first he had to like spray vinegar on his fucking webcam that was embedded into his laptop because he had cellophane fucking tape over it for so long, so the government couldn't track his face.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, did we deep dive into Building 7? No. After 58 minutes of this guy on, he was basically just promoting his book. Building 7 was brought up a tick, but this guy...
I think I know who you're talking about. Without knowing the episode, I think I know who you're talking about. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I think the book's called The Red Herring, right? Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. No. Did we deep dive into that specific? No. It was just we couldn't pinpoint a specific talking point because he would then venture off into other things.
Tangent.
He was Charlie Day in the mailroom trying to figure out
Pepe Sylvia.
There's a lot of red strings, okay, and none of them connected to anything.
Yeah, that's the problem with a lot of like talking to people about conspiracy theories. It's just like we started here, and now we're over here, and now we're on the Easter Bunny. The moon is hollow over here.
And I tell you, I love Alan and Murr. I pitched this idea to them, and they didn't combat it, and we had them on, and afterwards they were like, Wes, we got to tell you, man, we've got to be done with this bullshit.
Okay, well, if I, as a occasional, once, twice a month guy, get a vote, I'm all in. Let's have them all on.
Well, the only time I ever protested is when Wes wanted to debate one of these guys on 9/11. I was like,
I said, put your money where your mouth is, punk.
Yeah, I love it.
Paul Days. We can do it. We can do it on September 1st.
That's the day. That's the day to do it.
I stand by that. I stand by that, man. I think it's good.
I'll get us all the Hooter shirts. Let freedom wing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, God.
You know what I'm talking about?
I guess what did Hooters have
So
some sort of...
it's now people like you can get the shirt on TeePublic if you want, but like it's a lot of people print out the T-shirts. After 9/11, there was a Hooters collectible pin of the Twin Towers that said Hooters remembers 9/11. Let freedom wing.
Oof. What's the big deal?
Is that not great? Is that not awesome?
No, it's not. It really isn't. Sorry. No, it's not. Not at all.
That's a tough one.
It's hilarious.
Never forget, right?
The whole corporation that's remembering with a collectible pin.
Now they say New York forgot because what's-his-face is the mayor.
Dummy.
Yeah, they forgot. Well, Andrew, that should springboard us into Fun Fact Friday, right?
Let's get to it, friends. I got a great Fun Fact Friday for you tonight, brought to you, of course, by our very many sponsors. Our very scientific Facebook page that you can go check out, which is Flat Earth Science, Advocates for Truth. If you got any ideas about the globe that doesn't exist, go express them free and fair on Flat Earth Science, Advocates for Truth. Of course, if you got any pain below the knee and above the ankle, you can check out the Shin Splints Recovery Group. And also make sure you check out The Cuckster. You can find them on both TikTok and Instagram. That's Cuckster for Life. Cuckster for Life on both TikTok and the Instagram. So tonight, in honor of Dr. Anthony Fauci's over 100 times pleading the fifth in front of a congressional committee and being recommended for contempt, actually being found in contempt. Of Congress. Tonight I'm doing the 5 most boneheaded public servant moments, technically in modern history here. And, Raleigh, I'll ask you, I know where you stand politically. Didn't you want him to... Here's my stance. I'll tell you this so that you're not completely angry with me.
I'm never.
I don't want an 85-year-old man to go to jail. Point blank. Don't need it to happen. However, I do think that if there is a syndicate of scientists tinkering with biological entities in the world we probably want to know the answers behind that and why, who, what, when, where, and how. Is that fair?
100%, sure. But here's the thing, all power to all people. Like, if it was his fault, if this was not on the, this isn't one of those Ukrainian biolabs that we've been hearing so much about. But, we've got the most military bases around the world. We've got the most black sites around the world. It's like, hey, here's some USAID money that is no longer a thing, but, let us throw up this lab on your border. No questions asked. Pretty tight, right? Sure, it happens. But it's like, if you lied to the American people, fuck you,
I'll take that.
Many of us forget that Trump is the one who signed off on Operation Warp Speed, right? So
True.
He's complicit. Yeah. If we're going to say Fauci's complicit, he's complicit too. I don't give a shit about Fauci. You can't be a career-long bureaucrat because shit's got to change, right? We've got a problem with all these motherfuckers who have been there for 10, 15, 20 years steering shit behind the curtain. Shit's not sweet.
Here's my perspective on the whole thing. Is I don't care which administration you got to throw under the bus. Throw them all under the bus. You've got the blanket pardon. Fucking use it. God, I would love to be sitting in front of a congressional committee you can't go to jail for anything you say today. Oh, really? My nipples would be poking through my fucking herringbone suit. Here's what I got to tell you about old JB. Here's what I got to tell you about old DJ. Let's do this thing, baby. Hey, Rand, I'll give you a perm after this fucker's done. Let's go. And just fucking lay it out there. Because they wanted me to steer it this way because they didn't think people were smart enough to do this. And then they wanted me to steer it this way because this. Say it all. Obama didn't want gain-of-function research, so I renamed it. And just fucking go, baby.
Yeah.
And again, as you're the biggest leftist, which people assume means liberal Obama lover, I'm a huge critic of him because of the drone program. So it's fuck them all. They're all war criminals. Just somebody tell the fucking truth. One person in a congressional hearing, tell the fucking truth, and then be dealt with accordingly.
And there you go with that poignant curse. Stop bullshitting me. Stop bullshitting me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I will say this. Somehow you got a hold of Fauci's diary, okay? And then there was a senator who now...
So funny, by the way. We got his diary.
Julia Roberts was looking at me from across the room. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yes.
He killed 10,000 field mice.
Yeah. And I still think... And then there's a senator who says he got a copy of his cell phone, right? But we can't get the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Right. We can't get those.
Thought we got our party boy Hunter with the laptop. Didn't do shit with that.
I just don't think people understand that, the ramifications of everything that happened through that little era that we all had to live through. Because, it's partially why Elon's overspent on Twitter to turn it into X. He was tired of people. I don't think people that are really hardcore, and I appreciate everything you said, O'Reilly. Seriously, that's the most. Thank you. People's lives were ruined for multiple reasons over this pandemic that had nothing to do with the actual virus. And I think we need to understand why that happened, who allowed that to happen, what the justification behind that was for having it happen. And we need to rectify it moving forward, but you don't rectify it by abusing the Fifth Amendment 111 times in a congressional hearing when you have nothing to lose.
Agree with half of that. I'll agree with half of that. But do you know who doubled, maybe even tripled using the Fifth Amendment in a congressional hearing?
Lay it on me, big guy.
Your boy DJT.
Sure. But again, I don't like this.
While he was the president.
Let's not do the thing where we say, well, this guy.
I know that's because I also hate the tit for tat. I get it, but it's we're acting, and that's the number one thing I think we can all agree on why we hate politicians is because everybody's clutching their pearls when it's no, motherfucker, you did the same thing 4 years ago. You did the same thing 8 years ago. It's just whoever's got the mic and wants to yell the fucking loudest.
The only retort I'll have, and again, because I don't want to do this, but The
No,
difference
I get it. I'm saying I agree with you. I'm saying I agree.
I think the difference is like this guy has zero consequences coming to him if he answers an honest question, and because they've
Not true.
made it. What do you mean?
He's had threats against his life for years.
Yeah, well, Donald Trump.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed. So
No,
it's like
but-
there's not zero consequences for anyone.
Well, I'm saying there are zero legal consequences for being honest, and I honestly think that anybody who wanted to do any harm to the guy would have maybe a little more respect for him if he was just. This is how conspiracies continue to bloom, and I think that's one of the problems. Is because now by staying silent on any reasonable answer to every single question, you allow for anybody who has an idea. I got an idea about what I think happened. They're right now. All
Sure.
of them. All of them are right. And we need to stop doing that and start funneling some truth back into the world, or we're
I'll agree, but then I'll raise you. Why did they pave over the place where Charlie Kirk died one day later?
Stop it. I'm talking about Anthony Fauci. Wesley?
Yeah,
Moderate.
measles has bloomed. That's what I was gonna say.
But let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you on a Friday. And staying in the vein of COVID, this one's just funny. So, did you know Cyril Ramaphosa, the South African president who was lecturing on mask wearing during COVID, had a little bit of a gaffe in front of the podium while expressing to the public that they needed to wear masks. He put his on upside down, covering his eyes and nose instead of his mouth, fumbling until it came over his mouth, then ripped it off and said, "Thank you," before walking away from the podium.
This is where you should buy into the fact that sometimes politicians don't have a clue what they're talking about.
It was a perfect example of this guy's never put this thing on his face.
You guys have seen Major League 2, yes?
Yes.
And with Charlie Sheen's holding the right guard upside down, and the director's like, upside down.
And this, I think this makes a good, bigger point that it's like these are elected officials. These people should be working for us, not the other way around. These are not subject matter experts. These are not fucking morality experts. I'm not saying that as they get a pass. I'm saying that as sometimes they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's like, does that make sense?
Yeah. No, my personal opinion is the media needs to stop doing scorched earth character assassinations on everyone because normal people won't run. Like, if you're gonna bring up that time I rode my e-bike in front of the fucking mail truck, then I ain't gonna run for office. You know what I mean?
Agreed. But it's also like we're in the era of motherfucking Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I'm out here in Colorado. I don't know if you listeners, subscribers, watchers know. I live in Denver. We got what's her name? Old Sarah Palin 2.0, Lauren Boebert.
Oh, yeah. Hot below the neck. Yeah.
Where these people are getting elected. Like, don't get me wrong, politicians are dirtbags throughout history. But at least it was like, oh yeah, this one's a lawyer. This one went to space. This one. Now, oh, this one had something weird happen to the bowling alley.
And Murr, you had alluded to this too, like a podcast, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's turned into just people who want it more, not people who deserve it more. Because some of the people who deserve it more were like, no, I don't have any interest in running for political office. Okay, cool. And can you fucking imagine walking into a voting booth, thinking in your heart and your cockles that Marjorie Taylor Greene is that's it. That's the answer. Whoop. And then a couple of years later, like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? I might as well light off my fucking butane. I might as well light off my hot water heater.
The problem
she
is
essentially chased her opponent out of the race, allegedly.
Well, I mean, I think that's part of my point here is like that both sides do it, and then it comes down to like, fuck, which one's the least crazy? Yeah, and then think about this, and then you get Marjorie MTG, and it's like, fuck, that was the best of the two. Look, I will say I'm a registered Republican, but I'm not MAGA, and I always say like, Donald Trump won. What'd you guys do?
nothing but fucking Democrats have been falling on banana peels for years. Yeah. Wes, what's that game we used to play in college? Who would you rather not be?
Yeah.
That's American politics at this point.
And I think I can't imagine, like, there was a time, like, listen, I don't dislike Bernie Sanders. It boggles my mind that like where he was neck and neck with Hillary because he was less radical than Hillary Clinton. I was like, holy shit, he might pull this off. And I like.
Yeah,
I'm not a Bernie hater. All I'm saying is,
no, it's okay.
This less crazy.
And crazy is the Democratic Party shooting themselves in the foot for the past fucking 10, 12 years.
Yeah,
and
Jon Stewart said the Republican Party is playing chess, and the Democrats are figuring out why they came in their pants too quickly.
I love Jon Stewart. I love Jon Stewart, and I love Bill Maher's takes on things recently. I think people need to pay it. I know you, and I get it. I just
don't think Bill Maher's funny. Like, I don't give a shit about his politics. I think he tries really hard to be relevant.
I think he's, as somebody who doesn't agree with the direction of the Democratic Party, when I hear him talk as a Democrat, I'm like, I would vote for the guy I would vote for the guy who Bill Maher dreams would run. Does that make sense?
If we're going to use Bill Maher as the litmus test, it's like moderate, the moderate middle of the road Democrat is essentially a Reagan Republican.
Yes.
Like, that's how off center we are.
Yeah, well, and by the way, just for the record, I want to say this, that, like, I want a strong, reasonable Democratic Party, because otherwise you're going to get an unreasonable Republican Party that's going to come off as sane, is going to come off as
what's happening right now?
Exactly. Yes, 100%. But in perpetuity, which
getting worse,
but is a problem. So we
understood. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Well, then the weird residual trickle down to that is that then they're telling me what patriotism is. Like,
correct.
I kind of think I know what patriotism is, and I don't think I like what your version of it is.
But I would like to see an iota of patriotism from the other side. I don't want to be told that, like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Very much so. I very much understand that. I would consider myself a patriot, not by the right standards, and certainly not by Democrat standards. But it's like, we are all very lucky, and luck's not even the right word for it, because, like, I don't know. I think that sounds like wishy-washy. But it's like, sure, we did win some sort of cosmic lottery to be able to be even having this discussion here.
Sure,
and I acknowledge that.
I recognize that, but I also don't want to feel like ashamed that I want to talk.
But you know what I mean? Shouldn't. But you should not, and I should not, and Wes should not. We shouldn't feel ashamed for that. But there is something to be said for being part of a global system or being a bully in a global system, right?
But I think it starts with, you have to be proud of who you are and be okay with that. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
And then you can make decisions, honorable decisions moving forward. I'm so lucky to be a part of this thing that I'm proud of. And then I think you make honorable decisions moving forward. And and again, I have problems with the Republican Party, but
sure,
with their version of patriotism, just like Wes does. And I think when you do that, it's like, oh, we can do whatever we want because we were granted this by God, and God said, take over the Middle East. Like, no, guys, no. I'm a Ron Paul Republican.
Big fan.
I want to pull back a little bit and still be proud of what I've got and hold on to it for dear life. Moving on. Did you know?
I thought you were a Ross Perot Republican.
I was a Ross Perot Republican before I was a Ron Paul Republican. Because, dude, go back and listen to Ross Perot fucking clips. He was but he was dead on. You hear that sucking sound? Yeah, dude, fucking Jesus Christ. Did you know Norwegian left-wing party leader got caught on airport CCTV pocketing a pair of Hugo Boss sunglasses, even ripped off the price tag and stuffed them into his luggage. He paid a fine and eventually resigned, calling it just so stupid.
This is the second time in my experience of being the third mic on the podcast that I've got to experience Murr doing an accent for a very white part of the world that somehow seems way more racist than it should.
Equal opportunity, man. I hit them all.
Well, and I watch a lot of body cam footage from like cops, and especially like when they steal. Well, either when airlines decline flights or someone's like stealing something from an airport. I can't grab the fucking stupidity of this guy. Be like, oh, look at those things. In my pocket.
Yeah. I would say, now, we have a problem with surveillance.
That broke?
Right? Well, no, and he's the guy. He's the fucking party leader. Like, it comes down to, like, I don't know. Is it
bureaucratic nonsense?
Not even bureaucratic nonsense. Elitism of some kind. Like,
I can talk my way out of this. I can get my way out of this.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yes, and just to think that, like, oh, I mean, how much does a Hugo Boss pair of sunglasses cost? It's probably like $300-400, right?
I've only seen them at Marshalls for 14.
From an airport, yeah, 300-400.
Oh, yeah.
And
you can't even get Raisinets at the airport these days. Those are lady raisins for you.
No, what do they call those in the Dutch?
Oh,
Raisinets. Raisinets.
Raisinets. Yeah, that's what I would assume. See, I've always had this rule, right? Because whenever you find a word or a name or anything, you just own how you pronounce it and move on. And so that's why I can't look at the screen when I read these things, because I see Wes knowing what's coming.
No, these universities, or what was the governing body that had the first party, or fun fact?
Oh no, the party leader. His name was Bjormar Maxinazes.
That's it. So Murr usually breezes over those with like especially universities from like Eastern cultures, like kind of blah, 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 blah. It goes over those. So those are always funny to me. And yes, I always cackle, and I always start to like get myself into a frenzy when Murr starts reading these. But I just like, what's the disease when you can't help yourself from stealing?
Tourette's.
Kleptomaniac.
And it's okay. Listen, I don't know this gentleman. Don't know if he suffers from that, but a little piece of my heart
Poor
thinks
guy.
like he did suffer from that, and he's like, oh yeah,
The
Boss
duty free.
sunglasses. These things are going in the old pocket, baby.
But here's the implication, and
Just
I don't like to project, but here's the implication though. If you're so willing to just pocket a pair of sunglasses at the airport, what are you willing to just take from the people who give you a budget for a government to run? You know what I mean? Like,
Agreed.
oh,
There's the line.
no big deal. And that's the problem is like you've got, especially in a more socialist culture, like, oh, we're going to get billions of dollars for these programs.
I don't
What's
think
a
it's
million?
billions.
But you know what I mean? But what's a million here or there just to, out of this slush fund? Nobody's going to miss it. It'll go right in my pocket.
Which like really boggles my mind as someone who I don't travel a lot, but I get on an airplane about 3 or 4 times a year, and I act as I'm supposed to act in an airport. Yes, I do. After I get through security, I do have a couple drinks, but I don't steal things. I always act as if someone from TSA is watching me, and they tell me that you can't board a plane. So I'm always on my on my best behavior. And
No.
But but my point is, like, if someone like, hey, you don't steal from airports, you should run for political office. I'm like, no.
Is that our bar?
No.
Yeah.
Is the bar on the floor?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It's not a limbo.
This guy went to Turks and Caicos this year, left the sunglasses on the stand. Let's get him as a comptroller.
This is gonna be my analogy. The line to run for office is no longer a limbo. It's a fucking high jump competition amongst fucking 80-years-olds. It doesn't take much to get over the fucking bar. That's my fucking point. Maybe that was a bad analogy. Yeah. Did you know? And
He's
Jackson,
Sorry.
only in the brain. Come on. Did you know? In Jackson, Mississippi, the acting district attorney introduced the mayor to undercover FBI agents posing as developers and reportedly said, quote, "I've done background checks. They're not FBI, by the way." They then accepted bribes by the undercover FBI agents on a yacht and both later pled guilty to their crimes.
Something to be said for getting, like, fucked over in style, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Something to be said about your right-hand man and be like, I've done background checks.
No, when I first got this, I was like, oh.
He told me they were good.
I thought that a district attorney was setting him up. Like, I thought he was working with him. Like, no, he was just a dumb fuck, too. Yeah. God, I don't know if I was those undercover FBI agents, I don't know if I could have held a straight face.
Right?
No, like, you're working with buffoonery at its highest level, and then the buffoonery doesn't understand that they are buffoons.
Yeah.
But you're also, to that same point, you're also working with egomaniacs, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's right. The ego does not understand.
They're like, we're on the yacht, we're making a deal. Like, this is like, it's part of the reason it happens. Like, they love it.
I'm the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. I don't know who you think you're talking to there. Cheech.
Yeah, allegedly. What do you gentlemen have?
Yeah.
What do you land developers have to offer me?
Andrew, this is on par with
the
Anchorage, Alaska thing that we did like 6 years ago.
The lady reporter who worked for both Fox and ABC simultaneously.
So there was a Fox CBS conglomerate in Anchorage, Alaska, and the one of the reporters slept with the mayor of Anchorage, and he was like, "No, I'm mayor of Anchorage. Fuck you." So then she had a spearhead camp. Yeah. And basically, the hilarity ensued. But I mean, I really do think that this guy, what was his name, is Ethan Berkowitz, rode the curtails of being like, "No, I'm the mayor of Anchorage. I'll do what I want."
The best part was she called him out.
I can fuck correspondents.
Yeah, and she called him out. She called him out live on like 2 simulcast like news programs on 2 different affiliate channels.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, we're supposed to be doing the Polar Bear Festival, and you're saying I did what?
And then I think he took like 2 years off and like ran again and won, because that's how these things happen. And just remember, Marion Barry, that bitch set him up, but he won again.
Yeah. You know why? Because he had the back of the community.
Oh, I thought because DC loves crack cocaine.
But he took care of the community. Mayor for life, baby.
But you know what? Sorry, I'm going to move on. But I will say, a man of the people wins the vote of the people.
Yeah.
And if you're
listen, you wind up in a hotel with an escort smoking crack cocaine. We've all been there.
Who hasn't? New York Avenue, right? worst street, worst hotels.
I actually talked to somebody they were in DC. No, they weren't there for this specific reason, but Marion Barry was in DC. It was during his rebirth, and apparently they were just happened to be in DC, and they saw him getting ready to do a rally, and he had all of his people around him, and he was doing like an NFL huddle style, like pump his people up kind of thing. And he's like, "I know that guy's a scumbag, but I heard what he said to these guys, and I totally understand why people fucking voted for him." Like, it was just like this rah-rah speech, and it was just like, "All right, on 3," kind of thing. And it was just like, fuck, I would follow that guy to the gates of hell with a bag of cocaine in my hands.
Yeah. But also, like, again, not to defend him too much, but there was a very big part of the city, as a former resident of our nation's capital, there was a very, like, forgotten part of the city that this man did take care of, that this man like did represent, and they showed out for him, and that put him over the top every time.
That's fair. You know what? That's fair. Entertaining
to this day, that part of the city is still, forgotten about.
Well, now the National Guard's there, they'll be fine. Did you know Congressman Duncan Hunter and his wife treated campaign donations like a personal ATM? They received Lego sets, video games, fast food, and even plane tickets for their pet rabbits.
Oh.
Yeah, yes. He pleaded guilty and later of course, got a pardon.
Lego sets, huh? Wow, that's a good. How the hell does that happen?
Well, wait till you have a child and price yourself some Lego sets, sir. It's it's like gold.
Wait, are all Legos expensive now, or just like
Yes.
the ones that make like the cool like things?
They are all expensive. All
Man,
of
I used to
them.
mix the pirates with the knights, and
I have a conglomerate. There are
into space.
there are pieces.
Time's not linear.
There are pieces in specific Lego sets that are designed specifically for that Lego set.
That
I
sounds
know.
new.
Yeah, well, it is, but like that's all they sell now. So it's yeah, I've probably got about, I'm going to say if I had to justify, he's almost 12. I've probably got about $7,000 worth of Legos in my house. I'm not even joking. I would say about $7,000 over the Christmases, the Super Mario Brothers sets that we have all the way through. Yeah, man.
What about Star Wars involved?
He never really got into Star Wars, so yeah, no.
So
Thankfully.
you have like a 2007 Toyota Corolla.
Yes, and in pieces, you could probably create one out of all the pieces that are in my basement. But yes, collectively, you could build a Corolla in the driveway.
Pretty reliable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. It is it's a reliable car.
Yeah, fucking A.
And finally, did you know Atlantic City Mayor Frank Gilliam founded a youth basketball program? Then he stole $87,000 from it for designer clothes, meals, and trips. FBI agents found stacks of cash in his house when they raided it.
You know, I feel like the mayor of Atlantic City was always just like, okay, we found ourselves an honest person, and they were always let down. They were always just like, you know what I mean? It's like a city that's just founded, bankrolled on corruptness, that they try desperately to not have that happen. And they get this guy who's like, yeah, look at, and then he's like stealing from youth basketball camps.
Yeah.
Wait, this is like straight out of The Wire, isn't?
I mean, I'm sure, look, inspiration's easy to find when you just search any kind of local American politics, obviously. I always, a character I've always felt bad for was the character from American Hustle, the Jeremy Renner character. Like, he did not want to take a bribe, but they somehow, like, convinced him that this was, like, the right thing to do. And then he does it, and then they're like, man, I was looking out for my people. But this is a legitimate scumbag that just was like, yeah.
My section, that's how they get you.
How do they get you?
They just needle you. They just needle you into taking a bribe. Like the whole American Hustle thing, right? It was like Jeremy Renner started, wasn't he a decent politician, right? But then they were like, we're going to get something on him, and they...
Well, he was, even when he took the bribe, it was actually, they convinced him it was like, this is what needs to happen. They needed him to be corrupt. They wanted him to be corrupt. And so...
And that's how they get you.
Because they want to have dirt on you so that they can strong arm you later. And they lied to him, and he was like, that's not what you told me this was for. And then, yeah, he goes down for it. And then they all felt guilty because he was actually the only good politician. And then he goes to fucking jail.
Yep. Because that's...
Was this out of Atlantic City?
Yeah, it was at least a New Jersey politician. I can't remember all the details. It's been a while.
Atlantic City's though. When's the last time you guys have been there?
I've never been to Atlantic City.
I lost my shirt playing Pai Gow poker. Whatever that pop-up game was.
I was there like 3 years ago. But I've been there probably like 12 times in the last, I don't know, like 15, 20 years. That town has turned to shit. And I love it. Oh, man. That's a great town.
It's worse than when we were there 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yes.
I won $700 playing War at the casino one time.
You know you can bet on Uno. Uno is a casino game now.
No.
I saw it last time I was in Vegas. Uno is on the floor.
Hot diggity damn. I gotta get out there.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
And tonight, and before you go, gentlemen, you're familiar with the person who dresses up in shrubs or as a bush and scares people as they're walking by. I actually almost pooped myself in Key West, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the most innocent prank on the internet, yes.
Yes. So apparently in New Jersey, cops are dressing up as shrubs to catch people who are on their phones while driving. That's right. New Jersey Police Department is getting creative when it comes to cracking down on distracted drivers. By the way, this comes out of Middlesex County's Dellenboro, dressed up in shrubs as a way to call attention to the crackdown. They want you off your phone, and the way they're doing it is having cops dressed up as plants from, I don't know, Mario Brothers.
They're the Pine Barrens.
I hate this shit because the American justice system is made up of, like, you're only guilty if you get caught, and it's not fair. I don't even like unmarked police cars. Yeah, I don't even like unmarked police cars. There was a time where they made the police cars so recognizable, so if you needed a cop, you could be like, where's the police? There's one. Yeah. Hey! Now, you're under surveillance 24/7. Stop it.
Don't be on your phone while driving.
Am I doing anything wrong? This is the thing. Tony Romo's been in the news obviously recently. Are you? Or are you just driving?
Tony Romo was drunk.
I don't think so.
Didn't he say, he's like, I had a good 30-year run?
I'm going to tell you, you don't think so? You need to go back and watch that video. That man was loaded.
I think he was acting a little strange-ish, but his voice didn't sound drunk, that's for sure. Hold on, though. Here's the thing, though. I'm not gonna argue whether he was drunk or not. Here's what I am gonna argue. They pulled him over because his tire touched the white line. That happens.
Yeah.
The thing is, they only harassed him about drinking when he said, I just left the golf course. And if I will admit that I've never been to a golf course and not had 5 to 6 beers. But saying you were at a location should not instantaneously spawn a roadside drunk driving.
Yes, it should.
No, there has to be more probable cause than I was at a golf course.
I can tell you the probable cause. It took a nobody like me who has no education on figuring out who's drinking and driving and looking at that video.
Okay, what part of the video are you talking about?
One where he's talking to the
part
officer.
where he's drunk.
Yeah,
from the car?
No, when he gets out.
That's what I'm saying. My point is that he should never have been asked to leave the vehicle.
You can pull anyone from a vehicle at any point. Pennsylvania versus Mims. There's case law on it.
Sure, I'm not arguing the specific details of law. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is, if you honestly answer a question and they use the answer as probable cause, that's where I have the problem.
I left the golf course.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's the fun of the game for them.
Yes.
That's putting their foot in the door jam. They love that shit.
I know
was he or was he not drunk?
I don't know what he blew. I don't know if he did blow. I know that he admitted that, I've been through several physical car crashes in my career based on the things that I did to earn my money. So I'm not a very physically fit human at this. I know you can do that. That's fine. The jizz is in the air. You're right. My point is, police have way too many options on how they handle a situation. They can get whatever they want out of a scenario. I don't know. Did they take his blood yet? Did they blow anything? Did they do anything? Is there any physical evidence beyond, like, you can claim his behavior or how he physically performed tasks, but is there anything that suggests that he was drunk besides your sideshow viewing of the video?
I think there's more to this, his sideshow viewing of the video. I think, there's whatever was going on in the situation there. Like, we don't know what it smelled like there. We don't know, was he, and I don't want to argue whether he was drunk or not, like, because I feel like where I don't want to argue is, does a football celebrity get preferential treatment? And I feel like that's where we're going.
I think
where we need to go is we need to figure out if police dressing up as trees is his.
No, that's bullshit. Yes, thank you, Wes. Let's get back to the point.
Yes, okay.
That's entrapment. That's bullshit. When I was a young man, I think what turned me radical was an episode of Cops where they had this tractor trailer full of stereo equipment, and they just had 5 cops behind a row of empty boxes to grab people who were coming up to take something. Entrapment, bullshit.
Nah,
yes, stealing is wrong. Yes, first of all. But, like, also entrapment, like, do some real work. Work.
I guess I'll fall back on my age-old idea of what American law is you're only breaking the law if you're doing something that people are You're only breaking the law when people witness you doing something wrong. But if you if I see there's a cop standing on the sidewalk with a pair of binoculars on, I'm putting my phone down. But if I see a bush, I'm going to continue using my phone because I'm
that's
not.
how they get you.
Is texting and driving not wrong?
It's a real problem. Yes.
Yeah.
I will say that even though I know it's wrong, I still look at my phone while I'm driving on occasion. I'm not an asshole about it, but if you caught me in the 2 seconds that Wes Fox texts me like, hey, here's the show rundown for tonight, and I go, oh, I'll look at that later, and it's like, boop, boop, and I see the lights come on. It's like, no, I got a message. I just looked at my phone for 2 seconds, and in those 2 seconds, you determined I was a distracted driver.
Correct.
When in reality, I was driving just fine. You're going on the technicality that you saw me with this little black box in my fingertips.
That's how a deterrence, that's the only reason a deterrence works, right? Because it's like, don't be on your phone or we're going to pull you over and fine you $300.
Yeah.
I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not on the side of the state for any of this. But that's the only reason a deterrence would be in place is if they're just like, oh, we saw it, you did it. You know what I mean? I'm not agreeing with them.
I'm not agreeing with it either.
Yes.
But like, if it is in fact a problem, like it has to be like there has to be zero tolerance.
I mean, if you want to be Singapore and cane somebody for chewing gum on a sidewalk, then I guess you're fine. You're right.
Yeah. Difference between some dumbass in a hand-me-down Mazda just playing Sudoku on their phone. Then I looked at it because we had to use a rundown. Like, it's unfortunately such a societal problem that like there has to be this deterrence law in effect.
I just don't think cops should ever be undercover. That's it.
Agreed. That's another conversation, and I'll agree with you all day.
Yeah, Murr, you didn't name drop the middle class holes.
What do you? Wait, I mean, look. I don't like this. I hate it. I just hate it. I hate it because if there's a cop in plain view, you're not going to see me on my phone. If you're a Bush, fuck you, Bush. I'm sure old Raleigh will agree with that. Fuck you, Bush.
Oh, which one, first or second? Or both?
Not man. No, I don't. I hate it 100% because I act whatever. Fuck you. I don't know. I can't.
It's bullshit. It's just another sneaky, like, again, on the do fucking actual work. Like, find a bike, find somebody's fucking cat, find somebody's grandma. But like, it's the same thing as like the I've never had or allegedly someone I know has never had a real speeding ticket, but like, have they maybe been in a trap where you go over the hill and you can't see, and it's like a known place to, get people? Like, that's bullshit.
Here's my question. Jaywalking is illegal, right, Wes?
Yes.
So if you're in Dewey Beach and there's no cars and you have an opportunity to cross the street because there's zero traffic, should you be ticketed because you didn't go all the way down to the crosswalk and then wait for traffic?
Us, no. As adults. Senior weekers, yes.
Because that happened to me, and I was
as a senior weeker or an adult?
As an adult. And I was like, and there was like, bike cop. He's like, oh, I saw you cross the street without using the crosswalk. I was like, it's 2 a.m. and there is no traffic, which never happens on Coastal Highway. Right. I saw an opportunity to be an adult and walk across 40 yards. I think I'm all right. He's like, nope, crosswalk. I'm like, fuck you, man.
I'll agree with you there. If it was like, say, 7 p.m., you deserve the ticket, right? Because I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say you deserve the ticket. But I mean, that's a deterrence. Plus, what we haven't talked about is an easy way for them to just make money off fines, which is bullshit in and of itself.
I think the real crime is you didn't tell him he looked like Mario Lopez. Did you ever look like Mario Lopez from Pacific Blue? Ever?
Pacific Blue? Wow.
You kind of look like him. Man, let you off. All right.
TNT knows drama.
That's all the time we have for the Middle Class Holes. You can find us on all your social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all the podcast platforms at the Middle Class Holes. Hey, check out the Cuckster for Life on Instagram if you got a chance. Otherwise, we'll see y'all next week. Take her easy.